All right, so now we're gonna get into some lope work. We warmed him up with the walk and the jog, and he stayed nice and soft. So with the level that he is at, I'm first gonna do some lope transitions from the long trot. Long trot to lope is gonna be our easiest lope transition. He's already gonna have the impulsion and the drive from behind. So I'm gonna do long trot to lope. Once I get a couple good ones there, then we'll try jog to lope, and then we'll do walk to lope. Now, he has done some walk to lopes before, so this isn't a new thing for him, but I've only been riding him about 30 days, a little more than that. So I'm always gonna start with what's easiest for him. So as I move him up into the long trot, I'm gonna increase my contact a little bit because I want him to stay soft in my hands. I can move up into a posting trot, keep the weight off his back, trot. Good. And I'm a big vocal praiser on my horses too, so when I feel him do something good, I'll tell him. So I want to feel quite a bit of impulsion here. As I ask him to lope, it's real light. And that encourage him to keep his nose soft like we had at the long trot. Good. Now to keep him from getting too chargy, keeping him on the circle, keep him from getting too chargy, I'm going to do some transitions back down to the long trot. Trot, close my calves, right back up into the posting trot. Because we want to keep that follow through. I don't like it when horses slop down in their downward transitions. Now notice also how I'm using my voice commands. I see a lot of people overuse voice commands. I think your communication through your body should be effective enough that you don't really need to use your voice quite so much. So as I'm loping them here, I'm just keeping my body real relaxed and slow, and I'm just using my hands to keep that bend, keep them right on the circle, and I have my poles set on the ground too, so I can kind of manage the size of my circle and make sure he's not leaning or drifting out. Now you might see me make little adjustments with my hands if I feel him start leaning or whatever. I like to think of it like a water pipe. If your water pipe has a leak in it, then you got to plug that side. So if he starts leaking out to the left, I'm going to plug that leak with my left leg or my left hand and keep him centered between my hands and my legs. Trot. Good boy. Good. All right. I'm going to let him come down to a jog. Get my reins situated again. Next, we're going to try our jog to lope transition. And you'll see if I push him out, if I lift my hands, push with my left leg, he yields right over for me. So I'm real happy with how he's responding to my legs. Now I've had spurs on him for a little while. I took the spurs off. Just he was getting a little bit overreactive to him, so I wanted to come back and do a little bit more of a foundation. Spurs, I just like to kind of refine my aids. So move your shoulders or move your hip. But, I mean, you can get that with your heel as well. You just have to be a little bit more dramatic of where you put your foot. All right, so when I feel like I've got some good lift in his shoulders, he's soft up here, that's when I'm going to ask him to lope. Good. So you probably noticed that one wasn't quite as pretty as the long trot to the lope because he's not quite as balanced in that one. That's all right. He gave me a good try. His nose is coming out a little bit. I'm going to encourage him to round up. Good, and back down to a jog. Trot, trot. That one was a little rough, follow through. Good. Walk. Good. Now we'll try a walk to lope. So, prepare, cue, follow through. So as I'm walking, I'm still building that energy. I'm preparing, softening. And then when I feel like he's got his shoulders lifted, okay, we got the wrong lead. Walk. So I'm going to give him a little bit more support here. Make sure his shoulders are up and his hips are slightly to the inside. All right, I didn't like that one either. And I'm going to use this wall to help him through it. Oh, which usually he prefers the left lead to the right lead. Good. Good. But notice I wasn't really getting into him too hard. It was just kind of bring him back down, correct him, try again. Because you don't, especially with a young horse, you don't want, when they're trying for you, you don't want them to get in trouble for trying. That's when you're going to make a horse sour and not enjoy their job. So as I'm loping around now, I'm kind of doing the same thing I was doing at the walk and the jog in the beginning, where I'll take a hold of him, get that initial response of him softening up, and then let him go a little bit. And then his nose comes up, soften, let him go. Okay, so we've been on this circle. Now to change it up, I'm going to try and take him straight down the rail. And this, he lost his balance a little bit. So we'll try it down this one. Try it down this one again. I just want to keep him upright. Try it again over here. You can see he's kind of doing some steps that aren't very balanced. He's not staying as consistent or as pretty as he was on the circle. Okay, there I had a lot of resistance, so I'm driving him forward. Good. I'm trying to bend him to the inside. Good. We'll come back to our circle to correct. Corrections are always easiest on a circle. And then we'll go back to our line. Straight, straight. Lost them a little bit. Come back to our circle. And straight, 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 straight. Good. We'll try it again over here. Straight, 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 straight. Good, good. So I was just closing my outside rein on the straight lines. And walk. Walk, follow through, don't let them slop down. Good. Oh. Good boy. Let him take a walk break and then we'll lope to the right. When we're loping, another thing that I've been doing with him on the circles is some inside and outside flexion. Since he is getting softer in his face. So, I mean, I'll just do it as we're walking, but bend to the inside so I can see that right eye. And then bend to the outside, I can see the left eye, but his feet are staying on the track of my circle. So when I bend to the inside, I've got to support with my inside leg. And when I bend to the outside, I've got to keep pushing him that way with my outside leg. And I want his ears to stay level. I don't want him to turn his head and kind of cheat like that. I want him to actually engage his back and his top line. Good. All right, we're going to do a trot to lope this way. Now, his right lead has been his stiffer lead, but with 3-year-olds, with 2 and 3-year-olds, or whenever a horse is growing, you never know. It kind of changes week to week or even day by day with which side's going to be their good side. All right, I'm going to build him up into more of a medium trot. So we've got some energy moving forward into the bridle. Good. There, he feels like he's moving nice this way. I'm going to try taking him straight down the rail. Straight. Encourage him to stay slow. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. Getting better. All right, I'm going to try him over with the lope pull. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Split it. But notice he didn't get hot over it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. One, 2, 3, 4. It should be 3 if you stand to the middle. So I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. He's wanting to veer to the outside. Good. He had to reach on that one, but I'll call that good. Walk. And then follow through. Whoa. Good. All right. So that's about where Emmett's at with his month of training so far. I mean, he had some undersaddled time before he came to me, but he's just a coming 3-year-old, so he's got a ways to go, but I'm really pleased with his disposition and his willingness, so coming along pretty well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got some good tips.